For Pinoys, the dining table is the true heart of the home. Eating as a family is often a household rule, and no celebration is complete without an indulgent spread. Add to that Pinoys' love for buffets and unli rice, and it's easy to see why modern Filipinos struggle with eating right and staying fit. My name is Sam O, and tonight let's spice up Friday dinner time with a lively discussion on Filipino food culture, along with how we can celebrate and indulge responsibly. Joining me tonight are the owner and chef of Baledutong in Pampanga, hugely popular. Chef Cloud Tayag is here. Hi, Chef!
Hello. Hi,
Hello. Also with us is the second Vice President and External Affairs Head of the Philippine Association of Nutrition, Dr. Leonora Panlasigi, who we will affectionately call Doc Nora. Hi, Doc Nora.
Hi, Sam.
Welcome. Tonight, blogger extraordinaire Anton Diaz was supposed to join us, but unfortunately he couldn't be here. You can also follow our discussion via Rappler's social media accounts. If you have any questions, you can tag them with the hashtag #LessGuiltFoodTrip. All right, Chef, Doc.
Yes.
Let's start with a bit of a confession, okay? Because, since we're talking about food trips,
yes,
let's confess, what was your last food trip about? What did you have? Where did you go? Do tell. Who wants to go first?
Okay.
Okay,
No,
Doc,
yes.
I love.
No, wedding anniversary.
Oh.
It jives with the Father's Day.
Okay.
So we went to this nice, do I have to mention the name? Or secret?
Sure.
It's totally up to you.
Guevara.
Chef Laudico's place.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, delicious.
And there are lots of people.
Okay.
People there.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to make reservation ahead of time, But when you see the food, so starting from the soup, and then appetizers, all right, and then the main dishes, up to the end where you have the lechon, the roast beef, everything is there.
Wow, Dr. Nora, obviously you're a foodie too.
Yes, and
yes,
the calories is fantastic. But you see, that's a wedding anniversary.
Right.
So we have to really indulge because we are celebrating a very important.
Absolutely. I mean,
so
if it's, one of the occasions where I think you can permit yourselves to
yes,
indulge.
it's our 45th wedding anniversary.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
I got married when I was 15.
Okay.
No, joke.
I didn't know how to react to that. Yeah, but
okay.
Congratulations, my goodness,
Thank you
45
very
years.
much. Yes.
So you celebrated with a huge Filipino feast.
Correct.
A buffet, as
Yes.
we mentioned earlier,
Yes.
which, a lot of Filipinos are into.
Yes.
What about
Yes.
you, Chef Cloud? I'm so curious, what do chefs like to eat when they decide that they're going to indulge? What did you have?
What did I have? I remember my last food trip. Well, this was like about 2 months ago. I went to Iloilo to attend part of a literary panel. It's like, of course, talking about literature.
Yes.
So, but the thing is, like, we went out and you celebrate, you indulge in what the place offers.
So
Iloilo.
is seafood? Is it seafood?
The tradition of seafood, the inasal, no, and then not just with chicken, but their way of grilling with seafood, with what I love, the managat, and then of course the fresh oysters from Capiz. No? And then a lot of other things, and then of course plus like bok choy.
Oh yes, the bok choy.
In the original place where it was invented, in La Paz Market, where they still serve a dollop of bone marrow on top of your bowl.
Oh my goodness!
So they don't do that anywhere else.
And
so
you're there. You must. It's it's just one of those occasions where you must indulge.
You must indulge.
Exactly, yeah.
But wow, what a foodie, chefy food trip you had.
It was such an experience.
Yeah.
And this is like maybe like 100th time to be in Iloilo. Every time I'm excited, just like the first time.
Chef, we have people tuning in, not just in the Philippines, but from all over the world. And, just so everybody is acquainted, what to you is Filipino food culture? What do you think that's about?
Like, you're saying like why our love for food?
Sure.
Or eating?
Sure.
Yeah, well, basically I think it's the social structures. Like,
I think
the average Filipino family size will be like family of 6. Like in my case, I'm the 9th of 12 children.
Wow!
So you can imagine the amount of cooking that our mother did. And
she was basically catering every day.
yes, exactly. That's how it was. Like even in her late 80s, all the
Children.
great-grandchildren came on Sundays. So like at least minimum of 50 people, and that was normal for us.
Oh my
so
goodness.
What I'm saying is like Filipino cuisine in general is food for sharing. Okay, and you would not find a single dish like in a cookbook that's meant for like one person. It's always like a bandejado of something.
And it's always served family style.
Family style.
That's
right.
Yes,
That's right.
And can I share an anecdote?
Please.
Like several years ago, I was interviewed by this American writer who resided here like for 2 years because she's the wife of an American official in the embassy.
Okay.
So, and they were staying in Forest Park. So I mean, more or less, you will know like high ranking.
Sure.
Okay. So on her like last week, we had lunch together and all that. I mean, outside, like, and she asked me about, or she said, her observation on Filipino cuisine. And do you know? She said like, you know what Filipino cuisine is like very emotional. It's an emotional food. Then I was perplexed. Like, what? What do you mean exactly? It's like, well, you see, like yesterday I was having dinner by myself, a bowl of salad, and I could hear my house staff eating in the kitchen with the driver and some other people like giggling away. They were happy together. So imagine that, and here I am eating by myself. I mean, and it speaks of our food culture.
It's something that brings people together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like Filipino food is meant to be shared.
Yeah.
Like for example, that a good, you know, passerby
Then you just
seeing
ask.
a group of Filipinos eating their lunch. What is the greeting of the? Please join us.
Right.
Even if we don't have enough food for that person.
That's right.
But it's by nature we are that very, very hospitable and very, I mean, very much sharing what we have.
Doc Nora, you've been wanting to jump in. Yes, please.
Because really, you know, food, the social function of food. That's why they're saying Filipinos are very hospitable because of that. No, because we always say, "Can you come and eat with us?" No, so that's really the hospitality. And we have so many conventions here, and foreigners who attend the convention say that you're very hospitable and you eat a lot.
We do.
You eat a lot.
Do like to,
you know, and you have five miranda in the morning, and then lunch, and in the afternoon, and then dinner, and then evening before you sleep. But to me, I take it very, very positive.
Right.
You know.
So, you know, obviously food has been such a big part of, you know, the Filipino people, the culture, how we all, you know, bring people together and celebrate and share.
That's right.
And, you know, it's a way of showing each other our love, and, you know, it's emotional, as your friend pointed out. But I think now, you know, we've, I think, entered an age where everybody's interested in food. You know, you know, it's the social media. You see it. You know, everybody's taking pictures of their food. You know, chefs are celebrities now. You know, everybody wants to cook. Everybody's so interested. Chef Cloud, you seem to me like the type of chef who is really just, you know, kind of zoned in on a certain vision. Like, you know, your restaurant Baledutong is hugely popular for us. You know, a certain. You have 3 different menus that you offer.
Yes, and they're all the 10-course meals.
Right, and you know, it just kind of strikes me as you have a vision, and that's what you do. Do you keep yourself abreast of all the food trends, you know, that are emerging, coming and going at all?
Well, I would say a yes and a no. It's like we've been doing this since year 2000, and what I've been doing all these years, even before that, opening it formally to the public, is like using, cooking Filipino cuisine. Filipino with maybe a focus on Pampango cuisine, the dishes that I grew up with, and the taste more than anything in panlasa, and using all local ingredients. So I never really paid much attention to the trends, you know, all this, like, it's including, starting from the, you know, from the classical French and then you had the nouvelle cuisine, and then you know farm to table whatever, and then the fusion and the confusion and all that, and then the molecular.
Yes.
So,
Molecular.
and you know the latest trend?
What is
now?
the latest trend?
It's like, I guess this is like the past 3 or 4 years. It's like, you know, the nose to tail, snout to tail thing, and everything in between. They use all parts of the. But what is that? That's Filipino cuisine. You know, the sisig and the kare-kare and everything in between. That's our dinuguan, chicharong bulaklak, and all
right.
that. And so
All
what's
parts.
new? It's like now, you know, all these 3-star, 2-star Michelin awarded chefs are going back to basics. You know, I've read so many articles saying that they don't make money in those 3-star restaurants. Where they make money are in the fast casual dining restaurants that they, maybe the bistro type.
Right.
They open on the side, but that's where the money is actually. It's like if you want the other ones, maybe for prestige and all that thing. But if you're asking me now, it's like, did I more or less like adapt or adjust to the I did in a way. It's like maybe the presentation, but I've always used like leaner cuts of meat and the freshest vegetables, like almost like not cooked. Parang,
Like I think you're the, like the local farmers. That's, you
Yes.
see what's in season and what
Exactly,
produce
yeah.
is around, and you try to create with those ingredients that are available to
yes,
you.
and this has been done in California, like in the 70s, 80s, Alice Waters and all that.
Right. Well, I ask about this because I thought maybe we can touch on some of the food trends, that have been emerging lately. Like, how there's always a very popular food item and then everyone
yes,
will be about
and-
that.
yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what your thoughts are on these food items, like say ramen. Oh!
Ramen.
Sidekicks!
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah,
Yes.
ramen was hugely popular. It still is.
Was. It still
yes.
is?
Still is.
There are still,
many
a lot of
varieties.
ramen
I'm sure it will
restaurants
reach
that are
a
popular.
saturation point, but
Okay.
it's just too much. I mean, it's a fad.
But what are your
thoughts?
thoughts on the dish itself?
Well, the ramen is noodle is very easy to eat.
Yeah.
It's very convenient for the public. That's why it's very popular. You don't take a lot. You just add water, and that's it. The instant noodle.
Okay, so there's like, it's like a range of like instant noodles all the way till, noodles in stock that's been simmering for,
Yes.
half a day, and,
Yes.
all kinds of different meat, and just, chefs flown in from abroad, and, there's a whole range of ramen that's available nowadays.
That's right.
What are your thoughts on this particular dish, chef?
The particular dish, I will take our mami anytime. So Janet, the Binondo mami. Like,
All right.
Yes.
yeah, but it's like, it's again, it's a study in contrast, though they're both noodle soup. The ramen has a very rich broth.
Right.
Like you can take only like once a week.
Okay.
Oh, that's a bit.
And literally, like after that, you just overwhelmed with that umami thing that they have.
I think fried chicken also was, or maybe is still, a very popular thing. Like there are,
different kinds.
chicken wing joints
Oh,
that
yes,
are
the
popping
chicken
up
wings,
everywhere.
yes.
Fried
Mhm.
chicken
Yes.
seems to be a very popular thing.
And then the andoks, all this.
That's a
Also
grilled
chicken.
grilled,
yeah,
yeah.
the grilled
Yes,
chicken.
roast.
baliwag, all
Yeah.
this,
Yes.
different varieties, different companies.
Right.
Yes.
What about things like
Donut.
right? No, and
Yes,
not
I
just
was
the
about that,
donut,
the
but like
donut.
these
The donuts.
hybrid products. The
Yeah.
cronut
The cronut.
was
Yes.
a donut and a
Then
croissant
again.
put together.
I mean, are still popular.
So
But,
there's so
okay,
many types of donuts.
in general, I welcome all this influx of foreign brands and foreign dishes. I mean, that's what makes Filipino cuisine really vibrant.
Yeah.
It's still evolving with the introduction of new ingredients, of new dishes, and then maybe over time it becomes ours. So like look at fried chicken, like, starting with Max, and then Jolly became the Chicken Joy.
Yes.
That's Filipino. And the sweet spaghetti, that's Filipino.
Classic.
The classic, okay? So the thing is like, it's a healthy sign in the sense that economically speaking, the Filipino market is like there. It's like getting there.
I think
So,
the food market here, the restaurant scene in the country
the
is
choices we
very
are given,
exciting.
very, very exciting.
Right?
So, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not a direct threat to the Filipino cuisine restaurants. But for me, it makes it the more, I mean, given these foreign choices, at the end of the day, Filipinos will go back to the Filipino dishes.
Okay, all right. So, you know, now we just touched on how Filipinos love to eat. And, you know, a food trip is really part of our culture, and it's something that we think of as a treat to ourselves. You know, it's something that we look forward to. The dishes that we've mentioned, some of them are very calorific, fantastic calories, as you said, Doc Nora, earlier, right?
Yes.
And I think some of them, you know, especially when, you know, it's overdone and you kind of neglect the exercise part after the food trip, can lead to some health problems.
Yes,
Doc?
certainly, yes.
Yeah? I mean, what does it look like?
Because if you eat a lot,
yes.
in other words, you eat lots of calories, right? And so what you need, you exceeded what you need. So therefore, it accumulates. And so if you look at the scale, you know, it's going up.
Little by little.
Right? Little by little, or sometimes it's drastic because it depends on how much you eat every day. So in other words, in the Philippines, you know, this is a problem, no? Because we eat a lot, and we take advantage of all this 50% off, or and so on and so forth, no?
We love a good promo.
Yes, a
but
promo.
Everybody does, though.
Yes,
yeah.
But the thing is, I think we should be cautious about it, because we love to eat, but at the same time, we should be conscious what to eat.
Okay.
Because in all this, eat all you can, you know, the tendency is to eat the meaty, the fatty.
What are some specific health concerns when you keep indulging, you know, in all your favorite foods like this? And yes, I think the Filipino palate, we tend to gravitate towards the salty, the sweet,
sugary,
the
sweet.
rich.
That's right, the salty and the fatty.
Yes, the fatty,
Yes,
you
the
know, all these
fatty.
things. Like, what are the specific health concerns that could arise
from this?
Yes.
As I've said, obesity.
Obesity, okay.
Yes, it's increasing in the Philippines. All right, and also it is compounded by the fact that people now don't exercise. So because if you have lots of calories, you have to burn it also, no? So if you have high energy, you have also to spend it, you know, you have to burn it.
Right.
So that you maintain.
It's a numbers
it's a balance.
in, numbers out.
That's right.
Type thing,
That's right. That's right. But what I'm saying is that the fruits and vegetables can neutralize it. Okay, so you are asking me, okay, obesity and then cardiovascular diseases.
Okay.
Right? And I think in the Philippines, the top 10 killers are cardiovascular diseases, and the diabetes is another one. And cancer is also there. So these are the popular chronic diseases that I think, or lifestyle diseases that we have to, we have to be concerned about. No? And the food that we eat, really, if we eat properly, then this can be minimized.
So you're saying, like, you should pay more attention to the kind of food that you eat.
Correct.
Be more conscious.
That's right.
Right?
Uh-oh.
Which is easier said than done, really, right? Like, I mean, once you're out there and you see the spread in front of you.
That's it. That's
all reason can go out the door.
Yes.
But yes, do try. I mean, because
Be
later
conscious,
on, because later on, if you're not conscious of these things, what's waiting for you are what you just mentioned: obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular diseases. Cancer also, even, right?
Okay.
What do you think are some of the other dilemmas that Filipinos face? Why are they not able to balance it out? Is it that do they not have time to maybe prepare healthier food themselves?
Maybe because of the work. All right, and also this engaging, all these advertisements, about
the media.
And the media is very powerful.
And social media too.
Yes.
I'm guilty of this. I take pictures of my food all the time.
Yes, and and we are very sociable. We have our friends. So, let's go. I need this is 50%, so we go, right? But I think it's all right. But I think it should be not regular. Maybe once a month.
Right.
Right, for special occasions.
Okay.
All right. So that's
like a
okay.
wedding anniversary.
Yes. Right. So,
yes,
but if you do it regularly, I think that it's a very alarming situation.
Does money come into the picture as well? Because I find that, say I want to go on like a cleanse or a diet or something, which means I'll have to buy, maybe more vegetables,
more fruits.
Fruits,
They're not actually cheap.
They're
this
not.
country.
I find that, you know, trying to eat healthy costs more money. This is true, right?
Yes.
So the money is a concern as well.
Well, partly. But I
Partly.
think there are some fruits that are cheap, like bananas. All right,
Yes,
papayas.
papayas.
They're not expensive, but if you say
Kamote.
strawberries,
Yes,
Oh
of course.
my gosh.
of course, you
Yeah,
know.
it's ridiculous.
But there are
Papaya.
many fruits that are in season that are reasonable,
Okay.
very cheap, you know. And the vegetables also, there are some vegetables okay you can grow in the garden. They are actually wild. You can pick them up, and then you know you eat it.
Okay. And how satisfying is that? Growing your own food too, if you have the time.
If you have the time, yes. If you have
garden,
the time, yes. But you see, the thing is, as I've said, I think we should always be aware that the grow, the glow food. You know.
This really takes me back to like grade school.
Correct.
Go,
But
grow, glow.
Correct.
The
And
food groups, right?
Right. And if you look at your plate, all right,
Yes.
the plate, one half of that should be fruits and vegetables. All right.
Okay.
1/4 is your viand or the meat or fish that you have, and then 1/4 are your cereals,
The
right?
carbohydrates.
The carbohydrates. You see, so 1/2. If you have that and put that in your head always, I am guaranteeing you have a balanced diet,
I see.
and the calories will not exceed because half of that is fruits and vegetables.
Chef Cloud, you seem to be in really good shape, you know, for
Oh, thank you.
someone who I imagine is constantly surrounded by good food. You know, are there efforts that go into this?
Oh, yeah.
Or
Well-
are you blessed just genetically? What's going on here?
Well, let's see. It's like more than anything. I can say it's like, you know, it's a balancing thing. It's like if I indulge tonight, for example, then tomorrow I'll be on a like slow, more of detoxifying, more fruits.
Fruits and
But this is my, you can say, routine the past like 30 years.
30 years, okay.
30 years.
Solo
Wow.
papaya, maybe half of a red lady papaya
Okay.
in the morning, and then I can eat rice, top silog or long silog. I mean, I love eggs. Maybe just the egg and whole wheat bread and brown rice. Okay, maybe that's my lunch as well. The lunch would be, or maybe for the real lunch, I would have like nilaga, plenty of vegetables. That's what she said. Like what she said, it's like
Plato, the plate.
more of the vegetables, and then no more rice, vegetables and meat. That, and then I swim every day. It's like
Oh, that's your exercise.
yeah, that's my exercise.
Swim
You know,
every
that's the
day.
best
Yeah.
exercise.
Is
They
it
said.
really?
It is,
Because you
It's-
use
you
all
don't-
of your body.
You don't stress
parts.
any part of your
That's-
There's
That's what-
it's zero impact.
zero
Yeah.
impact,
You use
All parts of your body.
body.
That's what the being.
and the
breathing
the
exercises.
breathing.
Yeah.
Wow.
How long do you swim every day?
less than an hour. It's like more.
Less than an hour.
Yeah, it's
Oh
like
my gosh, he says it like, oh, you know, less than an hour.
Yeah, you know, my nephews who are like triathletes.
Triathlon.
That's not. They're not. It's not even their warm up. What I do. Sometimes I go with them. It's like.
I'm sure
But the-
I'm sure they're very young too.
They're young,
Yes,
like
and
20
the-
years younger than me.
right,
So it's
right.
like,
We've discussed, Doc and Chef, things that Filipinos like to do when they're indulging, right? So maybe things that we should watch out for, you know, be careful with. But what are we doing right, you think,
As far
as
food is
Filipinos?
concerned? Well, as
Doing
far as
right.
related-
With our food or maybe our lifestyle? Because like, you know, if you look at the food trends now, aside from all the things that we've mentioned that are indulgent, like healthy eating is also very popular. There are these, juicing has been very popular
Juicing,
for
yeah.
a while.
yeah.
Yes.
There are all these like
The organic.
healthy, the
The
organic
organic.
movement
Right.
also.
And then the chef, the sexy chef.
Yes, the mga the
Yes.
food, the healthy lunch or
That's right.
healthy food plans for the day they deliver to your doorstep, you know, things like that. What are your thoughts on these trends?
Well, I think like because that sexy chef, I think it's nutritious, but the thing is, it's quite expensive.
See,
It
that's
is
the
expensive.
financial bit that I
expensive.
mentioned earlier. Right, right. So, are you saying that you're happy that the service is available, but and
The
if you
price.
can afford it, then
If you can afford it.
you know how wonderful.
That's
but,
right.
yeah, not everybody can afford that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
What about you, Chef Cloud?
May I share my experience with? You've heard of the chef series of 7-Eleven?
Oh, is this where the like celebrity chefs
Yes,
came
it's
up
a-
with their own?
No, it's just one. It's just me so far.
Oh,
It's like a
sorry.
pilot thing for them.
Okay.
So, but the point is like when they approached me like 2 years ago to come up with Filipino dishes. I mean,
Okay.
they came to me because they know that's my specialty, Filipino.
Yeah.
Okay, so I presented like 15 dishes, 5 chicken, 5 pork, 5 fish. Okay, and they had it kitchen tested and company tasted and publicly tested. You know the results, like 5 pork, the top, and then chicken are like second below, and 0 fish. You know, Filipinos in general don't like. But anyway, in the long term, it's like what I'm saying is like what I batted for was like healthy, balanced diet meals.
Yes.
You know, the best seller is sinigang na baboy. So it's a linear cut of baboy, of pork, and like that's 50 grams, 100 grams of kangkong and gabi. Imagine that. So it's like
one dish meal.
Yeah, and a cup of rice. So that's the best seller.
Balanced meal.
Yeah.
Yes, pretty much. And then the other one is the pakbet with bagnet. Okay, you can skip the bagnet if you don't like it, but the bagnet, the pakbet, the vegetables are like half cooked. So they're crunchy when you eat them, even they were microwaved. But for me the most pleasant discovery for them, everybody was surprised in the convenience store category that young Filipinos, their target market mainly are the call center, what do you call them, agents.
Sure.
Given the choice, they would choose home cooked style meals
Right.
than all this fried chicken and spaghetti and the hot dog and
Fast
pizzas.
food and
Yeah, so it's very surprising that if they were given at affordable price.
So how
that
much?
is very
The sinigang is the least expensive, it's 75. By convenience store standards, already expensive.
Okay.
And then 85 pesos for the pakbet with bagnet, and then 95 pesos for the I call it pulled pork with adobo dip.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, I mean the name itself is like there's this dilemma on like what kind of adobo do I present. It's like the dry, the wet, and all that. So I combined it. You have a pulled pork dry adobo, and you have sauce on the side that you can pour over your pork or over your rice. So I mean it's been a hit since it was introduced last year.
So yes, Doc.
Yeah, that's the usual Filipino diet. It's a one dish meal. No,
Yes.
but it's interesting because he said 0 for the fish, but based on the nationwide survey, we are a fish eating. I mean how.
Yeah, but these are city people. Remember, I mean they are.
Maybe that's it.
The reason that they gave is like if they eat fish, they feel they don't feel full as much as eating a meat dish, and they feel they get hungry earlier.
So that's
Maybe psychological or what?
That's an interesting thought. Maybe if healthier options were more available at affordable prices, we wouldn't be choosing the fattier, sweeter,
Yes.
Yeah.
richer food. You know,
Yes.
True.
Yes.
because I think maybe there's a biological, part in us that craves a balanced meal. We want the rice and the fish and the vegetables, and maybe it's just really a matter of making it more available.
Yes, because that's what we eat actually.
And on a daily basis, that's our comfort food.
Right.
Chef, what happened to it? Is it still?
It's still there. It's still there. And they're still coming up with other dishes like bistik Tagalog, which is beef, and then the I think later this month, binagoong na baboy with eggplant,
All right.
fried eggplant.
We should all watch for that. Okay, so we've talked about how just as a people, food is something that we use to bond with each other, celebrate, show love to each other. And although we would, if given a choice, go for foods that are nutritious and healthy, that's just not the circumstances that everybody is in, and we tend to go for the easier choice, which would be the the more indulgent choices. So let's go on to things that everybody can implement in their lives to make healthier choices. We've touched on them lightly a little bit earlier, but Doc Nora, can we do a big summary of the things that we can do in our daily lives?
For example, I would like to start with what Chef, the one dish meal. All right, so you have
meat,
but I would like to emphasize the vegetables, because that's where the fiber is also very important there.
Yes.
The fiber,
All
yes.
right, the fiber. Okay, and then you have a little meat,
Protein.
The protein, because you need the protein, right? And then you have the soup, like your pork sinigang,
Yes,
right?
broth,
Okay, and then you have the rice.
And the rice.
You see, to me, that's very, very, very.
And if you can go for brown rice, I must add,
Yes.
it's like it's a lot healthier.
Right.
But it's more expensive.
That's a fiber thing, is it not?
Yes.
Like, are there specific nutrients that Filipinos should be paying more attention to than most, you think?
Well, we have we so-called the macro, which is the protein, fats, and carbohydrates, right? And then the micronutrients, which are your vitamins and minerals.
Right.
But the more important also is the fiber.
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 Just get everything
The fiber.
moving.
Yeah, the fiber is very
Yeah.
important, because it's not only because of the fact that we can move easily, because of the fiber, because the fiber attracts water. So you
What
can
does that
move
mean,
easily.
though?
Attract
Like
it
a
holds
sponge.
water.
So does that
So
mean
that
you are
when you're
able to
inside-
move things
Hydrate.
better?
Yes, easily. All right.
I see.
But at the same time, it is viscous, meaning it's chances if it's inside the body, it can be digested more slowly. All right.
Which
then
makes
it
you
absor-
feel full,
Full longer.
stronger, right?
That's right. And so
That's what
if
you
you
get.
are a big eater, if you eat lots of fiber, then you don't feel hungry.
Right.
So you eat less.
Right.
Right? And then another portion is that this fiber will, get rid of waste products. For example, what they call bile acids, which is a precursor of cholesterol. It is excreted, so that the formation of cholesterol is reduced. You see, so for those patients with high cholesterol, and it's very important information for everybody that the cholesterol level of Filipinos is very high.
Is it?
Yes, it is very high, So I think it's very good information that if we eat lots of fiber coming from your, fruits and vegetables and grains, cereals, then it will make your meal more healthy.
Okay.
Okay?
What about you, Chef Cloud? Anything to add to that? What do you think? As, someone who is very much to the food and in the food scene, who is able to balance it all, really. You look like you're in, very good health. What do you want to share with, the Filipinos and what they can implement in their own lives to be healthier?
On a daily basis, it's like, since we are, you can say, we have this knack for snacking. It's a pun, but we eat like 5-6 meals a day. That is snacking instead of those pre-packed junk food, chips, and all that. Why not snack on like boiled banana, saba, or even banana Q? Come to think of it, even it's like high calorie because it's fried and then it's like sugar. It's still real food. Banana Q, kamote Q, even like you got this ukoy, the fritters.
Sure.
It's still made of natural food.
So
it's like
because you're right, so I think sometimes we crave for these things because it's what we have all the time.
Yeah.
And it's what we look for it.
Yeah.
So,
for example, it's like if you're craving for something fried and salty, why not fried lumpia, vegetable, right?
So
it's
take the fried and the
fried
salty.
lumpia, and then dip it in vinegar, and it should pass. It should sate your craving for instead of eating like chicharon bulaklak, for example. It's like
so get the elements you like from something that would be considered not very good for you, and then reinterpret that in something that's like healthier. And made with real food.
Real food, it has fiber,
right.
It has all the vitamins and all that, the nutrients, instead of snacking with junk food.
A little precaution.
Yes.
Because if, the frying, we make sure that the frying, the oil is not used many times.
Many times.
Because if you use a refrying oil for many times, it's a bad oil.
Okay.
It's a bad oil.
Because the so-called trans fat,
right,
which is bad for our health.
Right.
Okay, so we make sure that the oil is fresh.
Oh, and we fry so much in our kitchens,
right?
So,
and if everything is fried, it's not also healthy.
Right.
So there should be a variety. If you have ukoy now, maybe the following week we have boiled saba, which
boiled
is not
saba,
fried.
even boiled kamote is one of
Yes,
the
boiled
complete
kamote.
food. Boiled egg. You can live on that. It's like if
Because you love eggs.
well, yeah,
But boiled. It's not fried.
yeah, boiled.
It's more healthy,
Yes.
right?
Okay, so there are all these healthier
Yeah, variety,
options, you
yes.
know, and it doesn't mean that if you want to eat healthier that you have to sacrifice on everything that you enjoy. You know, I think we touched a lot on balancing it out. You
Yeah.
know, it is okay to indulge once in a while.
Yes.
You know, maybe you're celebrating
Yes.
something.
even chocolate bars are supposed to be good.
Yes.
You go for the pure, like almost pure chocolate, maybe
black.
less. I mean, no sugar and low fat. It's the milk that's and the sugar that's fattening there. It's not the chocolate per se. So you go for the like. I mean, it's just craving for chocolate.
Right,
You go
right.
for the like 70% cocoa
Right.
bars. No, they're not such thing in the market now. Even local.
Yes. I think it's also a matter of really, you know, if you are really interested in healthier eating, there's a lot of knowledge out there that if you arm yourself with it,
Yes.
you can make much better choices.
That's right.
Yes,
That's right.
but I mean, what a wonderful discussion. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Once again, the chef and owner of Balay Dutong in Pampanga, Chef Cloud Tayag. And
My pleasure.
Doc Nora, what a lively discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
inviting
Thank
us.
you for joining us tonight. We'll see you on the next roundtable discussion here on Rappler. My name is Sam O. Good evening.
Yay.